What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Entre Mike back with our Entre Short for Entrepreneur. And in today's video, we're going to be going over how much you can realistically make with the Hotshot setup in 2025. We're going to be cracking down the numbers using real rate insight tools. We're also going to go over a cost based analysis that I just kind of made up on my own. Whereas we can always tweak these numbers to make them more true to the numbers that you're running today. And you can use these resources to get a good idea of how much you can make this year with the Hotshot truck in 2025. So let's get into it. Make sure before we do it, like the video. It really helps out the channel. Comment down a lane search. You're going to see it later in this video, a city and state that you want to see later when I do another one of these videos. We're also going to go over different scenarios, right? On how much money you can make, depending on if you have a driver, you don't have a driver, if your equipment is paid off or you're financing, if your insurance is cheap or if it's super expensive. The ideas are endless as far as like how much we can do with it. I just need cooperation to hear your ideas. So make sure you do drop down a comment on what you would like to see next. Let's hop into the video. All right, guys. So we have the cost per mile tool here, truckersreport.com. If you guys want to use this, check the link in the description. It'll say cost per mile calculator. You can do your own cost per mile basis and use these numbers and tweak them for how much it would cost you to run these lanes. Super excited to go over this. We're also going to be using truckstop.com to get rate insights for different lanes that we're going to go over for like a certain specific scenario. So if you want 20% off of Truckstop Pro, that link will be pinned to the top of the comment section. Let's continue with this example. So for the truck payment, I got it at 1,200. I just picked a random number for like, let's say what like a 50K truck would cost on I don't know, 5-6 year loan. I just put 1,200 bucks. Seems pretty fair to me. Trailer payment, I put 750. I know I had my trailer payment around $500, but that was back in 2021, 2022. I hear guys paying around 1,000, so I just went right in the middle. If you got an older trailer or a newer trailer, let's say 750. Some of you guys, it might be paid off, right? But we're gonna go to 750 for this example. Insurance, I feel like 1,500 is a pretty round number. Remember, guys, I am a licensed insurance agent. If you guys want a truck insurance quote, check that link in the description. There's going to be a lot of links in this video, but also a lot of resources to help you guys learn this information. But if you're having troubles getting a good trucking insurance quote or you're coming up on renewal, check that link down in the description. We're always here to help. As far as permits and back office and miscellaneous, we'll tweak this if we want to add something for dispatching. For now, I'm going to assume that you dispatch your own loads. Maybe your wife dispatches your loads. So you're going to keep that overall gross profit. Variable cost. So this would be like the miles driven. We're just going to keep it at 10K. Average miles per gallon, I think for a Hotshot truck is around 10. I think that's a pretty fair number. When you're empty, it could be around 12, 13 miles per gallon. And when you're loaded, I can see you trailing from 7 to 9 miles per gallon, right? So we're just going to go right in the middle at 10. Average fuel price nationwide is around 380 to 385, depending on your region. Of course, you can tweak this number if you're in Texas and it's much lower, or if you're in Cali and it's a little bit higher. For driver pay, so like I said, we can have different scenarios where we add driver pay to this. If you want to pay them, I don't know, 50 cents a mile, right? But for now, we're just going to have this as you as the owner operator. That way, the guys who are actually going to drive the truck can know what to expect when financing the equipment, not owning the equipment. And then repairs and maintenance, I always max this out at 2,000. You could realistically have this at around 1,000 or 1,500, but we're just going to max it out for fun. And for tolls, 250 bucks. Bring your overall cost per mile without making profit to 93 cents a mile, right? So let's hop over on Truckstop and figure out what loads are paying for certain lanes and map out a certain lane search for a week-long scenario. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to use the rate search insight tool to look up basically how much you guys can make going from a certain area. And then we're going to map that out for the entire week. Make sure you guys hit that like button. This took a lot of time in preparation. So we're going to start off going from Atlanta to Columbus, Ohio. We're going to do the same scenario we did for the box trucks. So we get 1310 on that. Pretty decent mileage, probably around 600 miles. And the next load, we are going to go from... We're going to go from now Columbus, Ohio to Chicago, Illinois. It's going to give us a rate per mile of 248 at 816. So that's really good too. Then we're going to go from, let me put this in first. I'm doing this too so you guys can figure out how to do it once you get your hands on Truck Stop Pro. Let's go from Chicago to Dallas, Texas. We got Houston on there, but let's do Dallas instead. Get rate insights. Then by that time, so this is Monday to Tuesday. This is a one-day trip, another one-day trip. So Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday. This is Wednesday to Friday. So now it's Friday dropping off in Dallas, Texas, and we're going to go back to Atlanta. All right. And we're going to get the gross numbers. 40 feet. And Dallas, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia. And we got, boom, 1579. So we got rate per miles of 236, 248, 247, and 199. And we're going to get a good idea on what this would pay. This is exactly something that I would run. Like I said, I like to run from the Southeast to the Midwest. If I can run a loader to here, I will. Get down into the South Central to get myself some more distance and then get my back home. Sorry for the profanity. But get my butt back home to the crib, right? So let's do some math. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and do some math real quick on what all of these loads would add up for the week. So we got our first load for 1310. We're going to add 816. Then we're going to add 2297. Could I type 22? Okay, even better. And 1579. Can I add the plus sign? No, I can't. 1597. Oh, 1579, sorry. And that equals $6,002. So I know it's going to be right around 6,000. So $6,000 gross. Now, if we want to figure out how much we netted, first we need to know how many miles did we drive in this entire scenario. And I think I already got that on here too. Give me 2 seconds. So for the total mileage, I got 2,673. We're just going to round it up to 2,700 miles. And then we're going to do a little bit of math on what your cost would be based on this scenario right here. All right, guys. And I rounded it up to 2,700 miles. So I did 95 cents a miles times basically what, 2,700 miles. And it's got our gross profit to 2,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Our gross cost to $2,565. So now we're going to subtract from the 6,002. So we got $2,565. And that gets us a $3,437 that you would make in a week with this scenario. Now, of course, we can tweak the numbers. We can tweak the truck payment. Sorry, guys. Been talking a lot. Truck payment, trailer payment, the miles per gallon. We could tweak the fuel price. We could tweak the maintenance, right? All of these costs are going to be subjective. I just kind of put average costs that I kind of know off the top of my head. We can do different lane searches. So for my guys from the West Coast, if you guys want to see the West Coast to East Coast, if you want to see, I got the map right here, right? If we want to see scenarios where we're coming from the South Central to the West Coast to, I guess, the Northwest and then back down, we can see that. We can see northeast to south central to southeast back to northeast. Like the amount of things that we can do with this rate insight tools is endless, and we can always tweak the cost based analysis, right? So I want you guys to download not only Truckers Report, check out truckstop.com pro version that will, like I said, have a 20% discount for the first 6 months in the description. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I personally enjoy making different scenarios that help you guys educate and learn more about this industry, not just showing the gross numbers, but really cracking down the numbers based on your cost basis and seeing what you can really make in this industry. Now, that's a great week with great lanes. That's actually something super similar to what I used to do back in my time on the road. But everybody's costs are going to be different. All of the lanes that you guys run are different. The numbers that you book your loads for, even though these are pretty good rate insights with high confidence levels, it may not go your way the first 6 months. You may book loads that happen to be cheaper because there's more availability due to how new you are, right? So, long story short, I just want to give you guys more tools to succeed. Make sure you like this video, comment down what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.